Ready? You ready?
Baby.
Okay. Is is that a jock strap? What is that?
No, that's the pants.
Oh, those. Oh, that's the
The
pants.
football pants.
Oh gosh. Okay. I don't really know about football.
But look, it's pants. See,
It's pants. I see it. It's.
outline of the uniform, and that's the pants.
I'm getting educated, guys, on
Are we
pants.
on?
Yeah, we're on.
Whatever. Whatever.
Hey, Michael.
Hi, Valarie. Welcome.
I missed you last week. I missed you.
Yes, I missed you too. Yes, and you've been gone, and you're just getting back now. So good. It's good
Yeah.
to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you
Safe
so
and
very
sound.
much.
Safe and sound. So
That's me.
you were in New York. So how did it go at the Met Gala then?
The Met Gala actually happened the day after I left. It
You
happened
weren't there for the
yesterday.
Met Gala.
I
I was
was
expecting
not
to see you
there
like
for the
come
Met
in.
Gala. No.
I was expecting to see you come in after like Kim, like with a mask and you zip open the mask and it's you. It's like,
No.
oh, it's Valarie. Hey.
No. I was in New York over the weekend doing a film project, and then I was there
And
for a
then the
gospel concert.
VMAs, right? You were at the
The
VMAs,
VMAs were
right?
happening. Yes, the VMAs were happening,
And you were
and
there.
I had, I had no clue that they were shooting the
Didn't know
VMAs
that it
at
was happening.
Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
That's your Brooklyn, right? Then you
I
know. Did they tell
know.
you?
I
Did they
know.
tell you?
I
She
didn't know.
she just saying that, y'all.
I
We can start a good rumor that Valarie was at the VMAs. Okay.
I was not at the
She was sitting next to
VMAs.
Lil Nas X. She was telling him like, tomorrow I want you to dress up like CP3O. And he's like, what? And she said, like Iron Man. I want you to dress up just in metal, just shiny gold metal. I want you to look like a human, like African American Oscar trophy. And he was like, that's a great idea. So Valarie gave Lil Nas X the idea to be CP3O at the Met Gala the next day. So
So I'm
thank
I'm
you.
trying to I'm trying to
'Cause
figure
all the
out
memes are
now.
hilarious. All the memes are hilarious. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out. Okay, we're
You
gonna
trying to
do
figure out
the.
why he dressed like he was like a robot from Star Wars? I
You
don't
didn't.
know. I'm not
Well,
sure how that is American. I don't know. Maybe he was like he wanted to be a 49er from the Gold Rush. I'm not sure.
now, are we talking about how he dressed at the Met Gala, or are we talking about how he dressed for the VMAs?
Look,
I get confused because these events, guys, were back to back in New York, and so it gives
Valley
a
was at
false
both of
sense
them,
of
right?
security.
You were at both
Gives-
of them.
So it gives a false sense of security that everything is back to normal and we're all okay with meeting in person and everything. But they
Oh, not to Nicki Minaj though.
what did Nicki
Minaj is trying
Minaj
to keep
have
the
to
family
say?
jewels. She wants to keep your family jewels safe.
Your
Her cousin
family jewels. What
and
does
her
that
cousin's
mean?
family jewels safe. The family jewels.
Oh, okay. I'm totally clueless. What do you mean by that? Wow. Michael, I think he froze himself on purpose. Oh wow, he's really not there. Michael, are you there?
I
Okay.
see the spinning going on. Oh, I'm back.
Oh, he's
I
back. Yes,
returned.
because
Now you're
it
back.
was you. It was you. I was thinking, oh my goodness, what happened?
I am back. I am
Oh,
back.
good.
I thought
So you
Nicholas was heading to Chicago. I know it's going to be heading north and east at some point.
yeah, so
I remember.
Nicki Minaj was not at the Met Gala. Why
No, she
wasn't
was
she
not.
there? Why
Well,
was she not
apparently
there?
she's not vaccinated. That's the best we can tell from these odd and random tweets that she was sending out, which included they want you to get vaccinated for the Met. This is what Nicki tweeted. Barbie tweeted on her account.
Oh,
They want you to
okay.
get vaccinated for the Met. If I get vaccinated, it won't be for the Met, she tweeted. It'll be once I've done enough research. I'm working on that now. In the meantime, my loves, be safe. Wear the mask with two strings that grips your head and face, not that loose one. So Nicki Minaj later went on to tell this kind of half-cocked, random story about
Okay.
her cousin from Trinidad and how he allegedly got the COVID-19 vaccine, the vaccine to prevent it or to lessen it if you do get it, and
Mm-hmm.
that he then had his inflammation of the testicles,
What?
according to Nikki. Now, here's the thing. She says that like it happened. That has been one of those unfounded but persistent rumor slash lie slash misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccine that it could do that to someone. There have been no
Mm-mm.
cases of that
Mm-hmm.
to that led us to this hilarious HuffPost headline for the day, which reads, I will read it exactly. Dr. Fauci suggests Nicki Minaj's quote swollen balls vaccine claim is just plain nuts.
That was a real headline, Michael.
Yes, I pulled it myself. The headline. There's no evidence that it happens, nor there any mechanistic reason to imagine that it would happen, Dr. Fauci told CNN's Jake Tapper earlier today. As most reasonable people would agree, and I'd be one of those reasonable people, to make such a charge would take a lot of cojones, right?
Right.
At least as big as her cousin's claims his is now. Um,
So he suffered this because he took the vaccine.
Yes, yes, and supposedly from
Wow.
Nikki's randomness, someone else became impotent, and then they didn't get married because their fiance found out, and then they didn't want to marry them. Now I've
Oh
been to Trinidad, and she was born in Trinidad. Don't put that on Trinis, please don't.
no, no,
Trinidad
not
people are educated. They're beautiful. They're beautiful folks. Don't put that nonsense on them. Okay, just
mm-mm,
don't do it.
mm-mm,
That's not
mm-mm.
cool. Okay, so Nicki Minaj was so far out of bounds that Megan McCain came for her. Yes, the bloated blonde, formerly of The View on ABC, came after Nicki Minaj. She said, quote, you have an enormous platform and have just spread unimaginable vaccine hesitancy to your fans, McCain wrote. Not only is it deeply irresponsible, it is very sad. I hope you talk to doctors and scientists, and she like name checked a doctor, like I did eventually. People are still dying from COVID. Of course, Nikki had a very, two-word response to Megan, which was to eat excrement. I'm paraphrasing there.
Yeah, you can't say
Yeah,
it.
it looks like Megan already does, so that's a problem. To which Megan McCain responded, hashtag Team Cardi. Dang! When you get roasted by Megan McCain on Twitter, something's going
Wow,
on.
that's
Okay?
wrong. That's so
And,
wrong in so
and
many
finally,
ways.
Megan McCain and I agree on something. Hashtag Team Cardi for sure. Okay? Because y'all got to
Oh,
remember at the very beginning, you know, Cardi told you, right?
mhm.
Coronavirus, y'all, is serious. It's still
and that's been
serious, right?
that was the message that I have received from. I was at the gospel concert in person, and person that leads our gospel choir is she works as a doctor, and her specialty is respiratory. That is her.
Ooh,
That is her specialty is respiratory.
okay.
I never saw her face, Michael. She kept on her N95 mask the entire time, and we were outside. And then she gave a nice after the concert or after just before the last song,
Right.
she spoke to the audience, and which was extremely social distance. People were kind of off to the sides.
Mhm.
Things were different, and it was a beautiful day at Riverbank
I
State
saw the
Park.
pictures.
Yes,
I
they're
saw the
just so
video.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was beautiful, but she just pretty much warned us. She says the pandemic is not over. I
It's
know
not
people want it to be over, but it's not over. And it was very scary in
coronavirus, y'all.
the first couple of months. She said she kept seeing trucks and trucks of people that were had passed due to coronavirus. So I took her thing seriously. I even got a PCR test today because I went to New York and I'm traveling again. So I just wanted to make sure. I think
Good.
it's a good suggestion. When you
Yeah.
go out of town, you should just test to make sure you're okay, even if you have no symptoms, because people unfortunately are passing the virus. Even if you've been vaccinated, you're passing the virus and you don't know that you're passing it around, which is
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. I know that I
So,
did. I mean, before I entered the classroom with the kids, that's one of the things I did before that first week
hmm
of school. Was like I need to get tested. Um, I wasn't feeling well that day. It's like, nope, let me go right now. And did the one that I think the same one you did, where you find out in an hour, like in an hour or so, and
right.
you just know immediately. And I wasn't. Since then, I've had kids not feel well in class, and to their credit, someone in one of the classes let me know, like, hey, my kid didn't feel well. We got tested negative. So they'll
hmm
be back in the class. Like, okay, cool. And I think some of these things are the fact that the person from the choir kept their mask on, it wasn't so that they don't catch it. It was so that you don't. I mean, there's a
Exactly.
there's a there's a common courtesy. There's a like looking out for one another that I think people are missing, and they're
Mhm.
wrapped up in this whole like personal freedom kick, and I get to make decisions. It's like, okay, but can you think of others as well? There's a empathy kind of thing, a gap.
And I,
That,
I really, I
yeah,
really want to, I really want to make a statement about that. I didn't want to get the vaccine. I'm just going to be 100% honest. I was thinking, I don't know what this is. I don't want to take it. But one of my cousins was like, hey, you may not know that much about the vaccine, but I know one thing: the virus kills. So I think I would take my chances with the vaccine versus the virus. Take your chance with the vaccine, not the virus. So, and I vaccinated for the protection of my family members that I was going to be going around. One of my dear friends got married earlier this summer. I did not want to go around him unvaccinated and his new wife. So I'm just kind of like, I see the reason why I got vaccinated was for the people that I really care about.
right,
So
exactly.
that's my whole
Same
that's my
reason.
whole spiel. I did not want to get the vaccine. Let me just be 100% true about that. I was thinking,
Yeah,
I don't want that in my body. I don't know what that is. Wow,
same reason.
wow, 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 wow.
I did it
Yes.
for the same reason. I did it because I knew that some of the people that I love that I wanted to be around aren't able to get vaccinated. They're too young.
Exactly.
So I have to do it
hmm
not necessarily for me, but for them.
hmm
I mean, I
That's
don't know.
that's
How about this about being mature? Mm.
I know. I wanted to say very quickly, I put him up earlier. Hello, Tracy. Welcome and good evening to you. And I think this is Carlos, but I see Patel. I'll say Patel. Hey, what's up? Welcome, guys.
What's up,
Welcome. So I just thought
guys?
I'd give a little shout out there or whatever. But I wanted to mention the 73 third annual Emmy Awards is going to be airing.
Oh,
The
Emmys.
same
Okay, that's different.
the Emmys, yeah, the
Ooh,
Emmys are
so we're
gonna
done with
be
MTV. Is that right?
What happened with
We
MTV? What
moved on
happened?
past MTV.
I think the one thing I will say about the MTV Music Awards, unfortunately, even the host Doja Cat, I don't know. I felt like I did not know half of the performers, half of the presenters.
Look,
I knew
that was
everybody. I knew everybody that was around our age. Like Busta Rhymes performed, I knew him. I saw Alicia Keys. She
you know
performed
Justin
on
Bieber,
Brooklyn
don't
Bitch
you?
Card. What happened?
You know Justin Bieber, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, but
I
I
mean,
didn't know it
he's
was
got
him. But you know what?
his features are down in
He had
Georgia.
a hoodie on. He had a hoodie on for the vast majority of the time, and I missed the announcement that it was him, and I'm like, is that Justin? I couldn't tell because he had the hoodie on for the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a kind of an outgrowth of the pandemic. People are beginning to like um, either the whole ideal of concealment or wearing masks or kind of being in the shadow is something that is kind of emerged from that. You're seeing a lot of
Mm,
hoodies. When
yeah,
Kim Kardashian went to the Met, she wore that kind of mask over her face, like
yeah,
said
I
she was
saw
wearing
that.
a T-shirt. That was the interesting take on it. I mean, you saw that from Kanye and some of his pre-Donda shows. He was in like a bear suit that covered his face and body.
It was like
Um,
a built-in mask.
yeah, I think that's. I mean, I don't know how long that's going to be around, but it certainly is a trend. This whole concept of mask and you know the it as an accessory, but it as a statement too. So I
Yeah,
think there's something to that.
there was a performer that came on the VMAs, and the other people outside of him had on a bear outfit and they were dancing. And all I was thinking is they've got to be hot because they was just is moving around, they was dancing. There was
Well,
a
the
perform
whole Masked Singer too, right? Recently there
yeah,
was
the
the
Masked Singer,
announcing of the
yes.
popularity of that show, and now there's going to be
Hmm.
another show where it's not even humans, like the real live human beings create avatars of themselves, and then
Is
they
any
sing, and then they
is
get voted on.
mm-mm.
So I mean, we,
Well, I
we're going in a whole weird direction,
I
and I
know
think
I'm
it's gonna last. I don't know how long though.
it felt very good to hug people that allowed me to hug them this time because some people would go like this, so I would do an elbow bump. So I'm like, okay, if you don't want to hug, that's fine. But I had my mask on and I was going in for the hug, and some people were like, I'm not ready. So we have to respect each other's boundaries when it comes to that. And I even noticed on the award show, the VMAs, some people wanted to look like they hugged somebody, and then some people looked uncomfortable. Other people were like, it's okay. But
Right.
you just it's we I feel like it's a shell shock of us coming out of this COVID, and we're not
But when
the
I
unfortunate thing,
right,
but we're not.
yes,
We're not
exactly.
coming out of it.
We
Yes.
are, but we aren't.
We are, yeah.
So we're in this kind of limbo, sort of, purgatory, the state where we're on our way in the right direction, or at least some of us are, some of us aren't. So now that means everybody's in the middle, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of weird, sort
Right.
of weird. What
Yeah,
one
so
thing I do want to mention, can if I might, just kind
okay.
of, it'll be short. Don't worry, it'll be short,
Okay.
and it has to do with the winners. You said like you don't know some of the people. One of the
Okay.
biggest winners is Olivia Rodrigo,
Okay.
who did driver's license. She is like one of the biggest artists out there. Okay,
Okay.
she's like the new generation's Taylor Swift.
Oh.
But here's the deal with her.
Mhm.
Um, she's only making about half the money that she could be. She has been sued twice. Once by Taylor Swift, who she says she loves and is a big influence on her. People got to stop mentioning songwriters have got to stop mentioning people as influences on them. Because the first thing Taylor did was like, I'm an influence for you. Let me go listen to your music. Wow, that sounds just like my song. And found the song. They sued successfully, and now Taylor owns half of that song. Half. Half, girl. Half.
Ooh. And that was her biggest hit. Was that her biggest hit?
One of her, she's had at least 3 or 4 hits. Okay, so one of
Yeah.
them, Taylor Swift owns half of the publishing now.
Oh my God.
Another one, Olivia talked about how she loved Paramore. You remember that group?
Paramore. Yes, I remember him. I remember
Yeah.
them. Yes.
Okay, them. Okay, so them. It's at least 2 people because two
Yeah.
people came in and sued her and got half of another one of her songs.
Who are the
It's the
people
song. It's the song that.
producing?
Yeah, exactly. You would think that this young girl who was young, who, if I don't want to talk out of tail, but she was in a class that I was partly teaching last year. It was Miss Olivia Rodrigo because she just graduated high school recently, and I know what high school. So anyway, so
Wow.
yeah, so I don't think it's her. I think she's writing these songs. She's highly influenced by this music. So somebody is supposed to catch her. Her manager slash her songwriter. Somebody's
Right.
supposed to come in there and say, "Hey, that sounds a lot like this group that you really like. That sounds too much like it. Okay, we need to change some, the bridge or some of these, chord progressions. It can't sound exactly like it." But people have been mashing up her music with Taylor Swift sound. They mashed up her music with Paramore, so it was like very clear. Like these songs sound a lot alike.
And what? Let me jump in here. I know that's unfortunately how the blurred lines got busted.
Exactly.
They were playing the "Got to Give It Up" song from Marvin Gaye, and
Mhm.
then it was playing the Robin Thicke's "Blurred Lines," and then it was like, wow, that does sound a lot like Marvin Gaye. And then the gay estate was like, we need that money.
We need that money. And here's the
That money.
thing: like when people say that, you think, oh, so every time that song gets sold now, they get half of that. Yes, but here's the thing with the song credit, which I had to like nerd about.
Okay.
Which is I'm a music nerd. I mean, I think some people guys already figured that out. So what happens with these song credits is this. Now, if Olivia Rodrigo wants to license her song out for, like, for instance, if she wants to do something with Coca-Cola, right?
Or McDonald's.
Right, or McDonald's. Let's say McDonald's. Let's say hypothetically, Olivia Rodrigo wants to license the song out to McDonald's for a McDonald's
Okay.
commercial.
Hmm.
What if Taylor Swift has a contract with like Hardee's or Burger King? She could block it because that's half of her song, and like I don't want my song to be used that way.
Or she could be under the light, whatever deal that Taylor had. It would be in conflict of interest.
That's what I'm saying. And say like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want you to do that because that's half of my song.
All
So,
right. So people
so I mean,
gotta
it's just,
watch it.
I mean, it's not a new thing concept. You would think like the way people are working with music that, oh, we gotta figure this thing out now. Yeah, you gotta figure it out right now. I mean, De La Soul has just recently got their masters back where they can actually make money off of the music that they made. I mean, this is for real.
What happened to
Oh,
their
they have been. Oh,
masters?
that's another story. They
Oh
have
my
been like in a
gosh.
position where they weren't even supporting people buying their music because they made no money off of it. They had to renegotiate anyway. So I'm just saying this to you. If you're creators, all types of creators, you got to make sure that content is yours. You can't come in half. Thinking that it's yours. You got to be careful. Got to be really careful. So
Yeah.
anyway, so
Even with this YouTube video, I wanted to show some of the pictures that were taken at the Met Gala and also at the VMAs, and then I looked at the copyright for the pictures, and I didn't have clearance. So I'm like, you know what? We'll just talk about it, and that's what we do. We talk on Tuesday, even if we don't have
uh,
visual.
Taco Tuesday,
We have a taco on Tuesday.
right? It's like butter. We'll leave the door open.
I
Exactly.
know that's definitely how that would work. But yeah, so
Yeah, best friend.
This is the it seems like we're a little bit in the fall version of the award season. And
Okay.
so
Well,
yeah,
tell
and
us
so
about the Emmys then.
the Emmys,
Go ahead.
I'm excited about them, and I wanted to um kind of mention again, like I did last week. Michael K. Williams was
Yes.
nominated for his role
Yes.
in your favorite
Lovecraft
show,
Country.
Lovecraft Country. And I want to just make sure that I bring this up. The voting ended August 30th. So if he wins posthumously, that means that they were thinking about him before, unfortunately, he passed away. And I'm kind of half hoping that's what has happened. But then again, they can change the voting and redirect it however they want to. But there are some great nominees scattered throughout the Emmys,
Been some winners already, right?
and there have been
Winners have been.
creative Emmys happened over the weekend. So
Mhm.
I would like to mention some winners,
Go right
and
ahead.
I
Yeah, what's Bob? Go ahead.
I would like to mention some winners, but one thing I will say is I'm excited to see what, and I'm trying to bring that up right now. I'm excited to see um who is going to be hosting my favorite, Cedric the
Cedric.
Entertainer. Yeah, and I believe Jimmy Kimmel has been the one that's been hosting the Emmys, or has it gone hostless for a moment? I feel like it was him or somebody else. I kind of feel like, I don't know. Was it? I don't know.
Not sure.
Yeah. So, but the yeah. So anyway, so the Emmy Awards is coming on this coming Sunday on the CBS networks. I think it's only going to show on CBS. MTV had a bunch of things showing on multiple platforms, and I was just thinking, good
That's because
gracious,
nobody knows where MTV is because they don't really play music videos until it's award season for them, and then they begin to play videos like they always do, but they don't.
oh,
So MTV has, I think it's MTV Live on some of the cable setups. That's the one station that actually plays like videos,
hmm,
MTV videos. And we have a classic, and since it's all Paramount, I don't know. I don't want to get too far into this down this rabbit hole, but MTV is part of Paramount. So when they do their award shows, they take over all the Paramount stations, so including Paramount Pop, Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, also Paramount, BET. The BET stations are
yeah,
all Paramount stations, so they run through them. So it's only lately that the BET Awards have been shown on multiple stations, the same way the MTV kind of takes over that night on all of their connected outlets.
right. So, for the creative awards, the Emmy awards that were awarded over the weekend, I am going to call out a few shows. You'll know the shows. You may not know the actual creative person. They did costumes, they did hairstyling, they did cinematography. The one thing that I was impressed with was, it seems like the Queen's Gambit from Netflix got a lot of creative Emmys. Outstanding period costumes, they won for that. They won for cinematography for the Queen's Gambit. I don't know. Have you watched the Queen's Gambit or no?
I have, yes, yes, I have.
Okay, yeah. So that's a period piece. So that is something that a lot of that's winning a lot. I'm very excited to see this outstanding
It's a chess
contemporary
show.
hair.
It's a chess show.
Outstanding, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Outstanding contemporary hairstyling went to Pose, which uh that's off of FX, and that's always exciting. And then outstanding contemporary costumes went to Pose as well. So you look to the creative Emmys, because if they're awarding those in those particular arenas, I'm hoping the actors, directors, and other folks will win when the 73rd annual Emmy Awards actually goes ahead and airs on this coming Sunday. on
Well,
CBS.
I was looking at the best guest comedy and the best guest comedy actor and drama actress and actor award.
Oh, okay.
Maya Rudolph has already won her Emmy for this year for her guest hosting duties on Saturday Night Live.
Good.
So did Mr. David Chappelle. He won for his turn guest hosting SNL this past year. And
Mhm.
speaking of uh, Mr. Mr. Williams, who unfortunately isn't on Earth with us anymore, the great actor there. In the Best Drama Guest Actor category, Courtney B Vance won for Lovecraft Country, and he had a lot of kind words and uh, things to really celebrate um, Michael K. Williams' life and his work on that show. Um, and,
See?
and kind of and also articulated what both you and I feels like. It would be wonderful if he is remembered with an Emmy and he goes out with an Emmy.
All right. So we'll find all those. We'll find out about that as well as other winners on Sunday, and we'll probably go ahead and cover that.
I mean,
Um,
you're a
yeah,
big television person. I mean, I think you are maybe more so than I am. I like
yeah,
TV, but I haven't really. I mean, I watch TV sort of differently. Let's look at one of them just quickly. Comedy, best comedy series. There are few here. I think,
who are
with the
who are you
exception
rooting
of two
for?
of them,
Who you rooting
except
for?
for two of them, I've seen everything in this category, including the
Okay,
one that I have no business seeing.
what's
Uh,
that?
that's I don't really I don't have Apple TV, but I have seen Ted Lasso, so
Okay,
figure that one out.
you
Um,
like that one? Okay,
I like Ted Lasso. I think Ted Lasso is a great show. It's not the show that I think should win here, though, but it probably will, and I think that's okay if it does. The two shows I think that stand out here are Blackish because it's heading into the sunset, right? Is that right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
It's
this
the last season.
right. So they're
Eight
nominated for
seasons.
best comedy series.
Hmm.
And then there's also this show called Hacks, which is on HBO,
Okay.
HBO Max, which is a really interesting show. It's about a older comedian, who is now playing Vegas, and she is at a point where she's trying to figure out if she wants to, continue doing that, just kind of, slopping up the money, or she wants to kind of push her act and move it into, at least the 20th, if not the 21st century. So this younger kind of disregarded writer, female comedy writer, teams up with her, and they have this sort of relationship, which is really interesting. I mean, because here is something that passes, I think, the Bechdel test. You have a show about a woman who is taking in a younger woman, and they're trying to kind of figure out comedy together. And it's a funny show. I think it's a funny show. So I
Okay.
think that it could sneak in there, but
And when?
but I think everybody loves Ted Lasso. I mean, I never heard anyone say anything negative about that show, and I've watched it, and it's charming and it's funny. It is funny.
Well, it did win. I think I just saw it. I just went zoom right past it, and I think
Did it
it
win last
won.
year?
It won outstanding casting for a comedy series. Ted Lasso did.
Okay, well,
So
it does
it
have a great cast. Yes,
yeah, so it won already in the creative. So that speaks to the casting director and the folks that, you know,
it's funny.
handle that type of thing. So
It's a funny show.
hey, it's funny.
I
I
mean,
definitely
you know what
will.
it's about? You know what it's about?
No.
So it's about a coach. He's a college football coach
Hmm.
who is becomes famous for sort of his viral videos. He becomes famous to the point that he gets hired by a European Premier League soccer team to coach soccer. Now, the
Mhm.
thing is, he knows nothing about soccer, which they call football, and overseas. So
Mhm.
he's now this American football coach who is coaching soccer, but he doesn't know anything. He literally has a like soccer for dummies book, trying to figure out what he's doing because he hasn't been hired to do well. He's been hired by the team's president, who took the team from her husband through divorce.
Mhm.
So her
Oh,
intention is to take the team and run it straight into the ground. And she thinks the best way to do
wow.
that is to find who would be the worst coaching hire, possible.
Mm.
Problem is, it turns out a coach is a coach. And that's what you learn from Ted Lasso. Is a coach is a coach. Doesn't matter what the sport is. Coaching is coaching. And if you're a good
There you go.
coach, you can coach your people up. And he does.
Okay.
It's very
Well,
charming. It's a sweet show. It's a very sweet show. So if you ever get a chance to see it, I think you would like it.
I will put it on the list because that looks like something, or it sounds like something I would enjoy.
So
And so
it's
Ted
wholesome.
Lasso. Right.
It's surprisingly wholesome. Yeah. Yeah.
You said surprisingly wholesome. And a few other winners in the creative side of stuff. Um, Hamilton won a lot of, I believe it won Tonys, but it also won for outstanding technical direction, camera work, video control for a special. And so, because Disney Plus is on, televisions, it was able to win that. Hamilton won up against the halftime show and the Oscars and some other stuff. So I'm like, okay, well then that's wonderful.
Does he
But
have his EGOT already? He should, right?
he should. I feel like he's
He probably
there.
has it. He probably has
He
it.
probably has it.
We'll have
Oh,
to
and
check
a
now.
person a person who just came close to who's getting close to getting an EGOT is Jennifer Hudson. She won an Emmy for doing a voice for an animation show. And so
Okay.
she just needs to win a Tony and then she's got it.
So
You
the
got it.
star of Dreamgirls, the movie, doesn't have a Tony.
No,
That's funny. That's
no.
funny.
Well,
Because she was in the movie, she wasn't on the stage, right? So okay.
yeah. So that's all she got to do is play Broadway. Then she'll probably go ahead and get it because I feel like
You
that's
say it like
something
it's
very
easy.
simple.
Oh, you say that like it's simple, really?
I
Mm.
think it's simple because I believe Jennifer Hudson is very likable. There's Oscar buzz about respect right now. But my thing
Is
is
there
that that's what I've been hearing.
really?
I feel like it's too early. I feel like we're very early for that. It's too early for that. But yeah, there's some people who are like, there's possible Oscar buzz,
I think
surrounding your thing.
I would.
And you would think no, not.
Yeah. Nah, too early.
Okay. Well,
Too early. It just is. You don't even. I can tell you what's coming out in November, December right now. I don't have any idea really what's coming down the pike, and nobody else does because we don't know what's going to be around in November, December. We think that we'll still be able to go to a movie at the movie theater, which many of us still hesitate to do. I don't know if
yeah.
that's going to be the case in November,
Now,
December. Do you?
now there's a movie that's coming out in December. The trailer came out this past weekend. The Matrix came out. The trailer did, and I saw everybody up and through reprising their roles in different situations, except
Except
for Lawrence Fishburne.
why? Why not?
I don't know.
What happened? What happened
I
there?
don't. I don't. I don't.
Something happened, huh?
Is he working on Oldish or something? Is he working on another spinoff of
Oh,
Blackish? I don't know. Is he working on a spinoff? I'm just trying to
is
figure it
there? Oh,
out.
is there going to be an oldish?
There might be, knowing Kenya Barris, he might come up with something crazy like that. Jennifer
Oldish.
Lewis might say, "Yeah, I'm down for that."
Oh, we know she would.
You know she'd be down for that. But
Shit.
yeah, a lot of people
Oh,
that was in
bitch.
the yeah, I'm just saying a lot of people that was in the original trilogy have reprised their roles in some form of shape of whatever. And I was thinking to myself,
Ooh,
I clearly
blindish.
oh good gracious. I clearly remember Neo not making it. I do remember at the end of everything that he sacrificed himself to in the Matrix. If I remember that correctly. Did you did do was that how that ended? Spoiler alert for everybody that haven't
It's
seen the
so
Matrix.
long ago. I
I
don't.
know.
Okay, here's what I remember about the Matrix.
What
So
do you remember? What do you remember?
I can take the hit. I'm a grown up. I can take the hit. All right. I remember the Matrix being one movie too long.
Yeah.
Okay. Now y'all can love it, and I don't just. I love it too. I love it
Mhm.
too. But they
Mhm.
made one extra unnecessary movie. Okay.
Well,
It shouldn't have been a trilogy. I know we love
my
trilogies. It should have just been a movie and a sequel.
I feel like with the Matrix, if we all know the story behind the Matrix, unfortunately, it was the Wachowski brothers when they were brothers,
Yeah.
were sued. I'll
Wachowski
just throw that
sisters.
in there. Yeah,
Wachowski
they
sisters.
unfortunately the writer that originally came up with the Matrix, she was a sister, and she wanted to y'all took the idea from me, so that was in court for a couple of years, and then I believe she was awarded so much. But my thing is
Another
is
blurred lines for movies, right?
it was a blurred lines for movies, but
We
blurred
thank you, Olivia
lines.
Rodrigo, Steven
You know
Sounds.
you want it.
Anyway,
I think you
um,
want it, but yeah. So, but I love the original Matrix thing.
right.
But by the time we reloaded and got revolutionized, I was trying to figure out what happened. By the
Look,
time we
look, look.
reloaded and got revolutionized, I was like, what happened?
I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you exactly what happened.
It's a
Warner
20-minute
Brothers,
chase
Warner
scene.
Brothers, Warner Brothers, which was behind the Matrix, did not have a Superman like character. And by the third installment, they turned Neo into Superman. And that's when I was like, well, I'm up. Shark jump, I'm up. They turned him into Superman. They literally their scenes in was it Revolutions, right? Where he
Probably
is
the last
flying,
one.
where he's flying, right?
Yeah.
He's Superman. They turned him into Superman
Yeah, they
because
did.
Warner Brothers didn't have Superman, and Marvel was coming for him, and they knew they were coming for him. So I mean, that was bad. That was not a good idea. That was a mistake, I think. When
Yeah, and
Neo is a neophyte, when he is a novice and he's learning, that's one thing. And when he begins to figure it out in the second installment, that's a different thing. That's okay too. But you can't turn him into that. That's just that's
yeah, the scene that cracks me up, and it's a 20-minute. I timed it. It's a 20-minute chase scene, and I think Reloaded, and it go. I feel like it goes too long. And they're in what do you call this? They're on the expressway, and then something else happens, and
with the
so I
twins.
think,
Not with the one with the
huh?
twins. With the
What
twins.
happened?
With the
Yeah,
twins.
well, the twins is
With the
one of
albino
them.
twins.
Yeah. But see, there's so
Mhm.
many moving parts. There's, you're just like, okay. So you have Lawrence Fishburne battling some agent on the top of a truck, and then the twins come for him, and then he flips or whatever, and then Jada Pinkett Smith's character catches him on a car,
Why is
and
she?
then so
Why is Jada even in it?
things are really about to go
Your
down,
boy
and then
Jones.
Neo, like
Yeah.
Superman, comes out of the sky and swoops them up, and then the character, like, he does, yes. He's cheering, and I'm like, did he just watch a football game or what was happening? Because I guess he could see the Matrix, because they switched parts. They switched the actor that initially played the operator didn't come back. He didn't reprise his role, or was he killed in the first Matrix? It's been so long, but that was this.
I hope he didn't do a main with it. I hope he didn't ask for money, man.
Oh, if he did, you're referencing Terrence Howard. You too funny. Okay, gracious.
I come back in the next Iron Man, man. If you pay me more money, they're
Nope,
like Don Cheadle.
nope.
Hello, Don Cheadle.
Done,
We got a role for
done,
you.
done. And it's at least 3 or 4 movies after this. Okay, Don. Thank you. You're good with your salary. Okay, thank you.
Which I mean, I guess I guess there is something to what Tyrese said. They didn't call Tyrese.
No, they didn't. No, and good grace, I thought he was gonna mess up with the Furious situation, and
He tried.
he looked like he
He tried to
tried.
get he tried
He
to get
tried
cut
to
out of
poke
that
the
movie.
bear. He tried to poke the bear, talking about The Rock and everything, and I'm like,
Not Vin Diesel and The Rock. You mean the people that are carrying you? Can you let them carry you, son?
let them, let them. You got a mortgage. You have a lifestyle that you're now used to. Just
Accustomed to, right?
you become accustomed to. Just anyway. Preview for the next podcast we got coming out.
Yeah.
I saw your notes in honor of the history of train and the legendary
Yeah,
Pullman
I was inspired by
porters.
one of the music shows that I listen to religiously. And I don't know why
Okay.
they picked trains today. That seemed random to me, but it worked out fine because it made me think
Mhm.
about train songs. The next episode, the next installment of Interludes will be about George Pullman and the Pullman National Monument in Chicago and the Pullman Porters that made that enterprise legendary.
Yep.
So I was thinking like top 5 songs about trains. Those
All right.
inspired.
What you got? What you
Inspired.
got?
My songs. So top 5, my song top 5 songs. Number 5 would be Last Train to Clarksville. Okay. And, and
Okay.
and the Monkees is great. They originally did the song, but the Cassandra Wilson version is just amazing. This
She's
jazz
got a great
vocalist
voice.
reimagines the whole song on this album she did many years ago of covers, and that's one of the
Mhm.
songs she chooses to cover. Last Train to Clarksville, beautiful rendition. Then there, of course, is the only group that matters, the Clash, and Train in Vain, which is a
Okay.
great song. When they're better songs. Disco, don't forget disco.
What's disco?
Lean down on the we're
We're riding on the
riding on the
groove
groove line
line tonight.
tonight.
Ooh, ooh.
Ooh, ooh. That's right. That's the train. That's the train. Ooh, ooh. And that's Heat
And
Wave for
all
y'all
right. So
young folks.
what's another one?
Number 2, they're leaving.
Leaving.
And Miss Arnice, we know you out there somewhere.
That's
Dedicate
right.
that one to you. It's a
That's
midnight
right.
train to Georgia with
Being
her
on
alter
the
ego,
midnight train.
Gladys Knight,
Woo-hoo.
Gladys Knight, and the Pips.
Doing some pip moves right now.
Doing them pip moves. Ah, be careful. Be careful doing them pip moves. They'll arrest you. They
World,
started out for pips.
world
Oh,
is
wait.
his.
Something different. And number 1, my number 1 train song is People All Over the World. And join in. Start a love train. Love train. Love train. Definitely. So those are
If
my
you
train
miss
songs.
it, I feel sorry, sorry for you.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Oh, Valarie, what are your top 5 train songs?
Well, I'm gonna be corny and
Can you
mention
stop a
a
train?
current one.
Uh,
I'm gonna be corny and mention a train song that recently came out by
okay.
John Mayer called "Last Train Home."
John Mayer.
hmm
You
John
mean the boy that
Mayer.
played the guitar, the long hair boy that date everybody that played the guitar?
He's musically gifted. I don't his personal life I don't care about. Just I can't look
No,
at it.
no.
I
Listen,
can't
say
look
he's
at it. Not
gifted
right
too.
now.
They say he's gifted too.
Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next song. Good function.
Confunction,
That's
function,
nice and
bless
old.
you. I love that too. I was gonna say conjunction, function. What's your function? Right? Is that the one?
Yeah, well, actually, it can function called Love Train. That's the way it goes on Love Train.
Oh, that song is beautiful.
If
That's a good
you got that
song.
special someone, you just
Oh,
got
dun,
to
dun,
keep
dun,
on
dun,
function
dun,
the way it goes
goes
on Love
on love
Train.
train.
Every
Man, I
day.
could have thought of that one. That's a good one. That's a
She
really
say,
good one.
Sugar, oh man. Let me stop.
That's the way it goes on. Oh man,
And then
that's
of course
good. That took me back. That was a good one. Good one.
I'm
Good
glad. I'm
one.
glad. And then I had one of yours, the Midnight Train to Georgia, because I like the Pips. Come on,
Man, it's a
that's my
great train.
jam.
It's the getting on the train. This is perfect. It's perfect.
It's perfect. And then, do you remember this jam? Come on, ride the train and ride it. It's a choo
Yes,
choo train.
yes, yes, yes.
And my favorite,
Walking days.
the music video to me is my favorite. It's the Gap Band, the Party Train. There is an old couple. They like have a ring set up, and they have an old couple, and so they're dancing like I guess an old couple. And they were like, y'all need to dance. My mother would watch this video and crack up when the old couple would start doing their dance moves like they were young people. She's like, they're not old. That's probably young people dressed as old people. But I love that video. I love that video. Don't miss that train. And this is early Charlie Wilson. Don't miss the party train.
That
Ooh,
that
ooh.
that's one of the better songs by Greenwood, Archer, and Pine. Greenwood, Archer, and Pine.
Who is that?
That's the
Last name?
Gap Band. I love music
Oh.
trivia. So the Gap Band the name of the Gap Band, y'all, because I know
Mhm.
a couple months y'all were all into, the atrocities that happened in Tulsa and all that. So they
Mhm.
from there. And that's
Mhm.
how they came up with the name the Gap Band. They're named after those three famous streets in the city. Greenwood, which was the district of the Black Wall Street, right? And then
Mhm.
Archer and Pine, the streets in that area, in the black community of that city. Greenwood, Archer, Pine, Gap, the Gap Band.
Well, they were famous and they had a lot of
That's why
songs.
they had them cowboy boots, because they was from Oklahoma. They was some Okies. Them Okies had them big cowboy boots and they stomped around the party train.
Oh my gosh. So we speak with Michael's mom, Miss Roz. She gives some oral history about the Pullman
Yeah,
historical
the family.
monument.
Definitely,
So
definitely. I
this
mean,
is
it's
going to
one thing
be
to learn the history, but it kind of to have that connection. Like these were real people that made such an impact on the city, transportation.
hmm
Recently, I was talking to a class about Pullman, and the way you have to think about it, you can't think about it the way you do now. You got to think about it differently. That at some point in our history as a country, the railroad wasn't this place where people like went to waste time. Now you get on a train and it's like, oh, so you want to get there in like, several weeks instead of like several hours. But there was a point in time when the railroad was like a technological breakthrough. The
hmm
idea that you didn't have to walk or get on a horse to get somewhere, or try to get on a boat to get to a place. You could get on this marvelous thing called a train that would move you from city to city, where you could go to sleep, wake up in one place, and then you're in another place when you get up, and they're feeding you. I mean, this is a technological breakthrough, and we got to
Yeah.
look at these railroad titans the same way we see people like a Elon Musk today. I mean, he is the technological kind of heir to that in terms of transportation, like a Henry Ford. You got Pullman, you have Ford, and you have Musk. I mean, and that's the way I think that we don't
We
think about it that way now, because we look at it as that's what they used to do. That was old, but at the time that it was new, it was pretty fancy. It was,
And
just it was a major thing. It wasn't just something Joe Biden talks about.
We have a Labor Day because of what went down at Pullman.
Absolutely. Changed the way people work, right?
Like how many hours you work. There's a recognized weekend time that you have. You getting paid fair wages. These things were fought about, and these are some of the things that are. What was that?
Thank the unions for 40-day work week.
Thank you.
And 40-hour work week. Yeah.
Right. And my uncle was a union president. He was a union rep, and then he was a union president. And he was now this makes sense. I met him, Bobby Rush, and this young community organizer who had a name I couldn't quite pronounce well when I was about 25, 26. And I was thinking, Uncle, who is this? It was Barack. I didn't know it wasn't who I didn't know who he was at the time. I just know I couldn't pronounce his name.
Barack Hussein Obama.
Yeah. Thank you. Crazy. So, Ed Michael, what's your name?
Well, my name is not Valarie Johnson, but your name is, because this is Interludes Extra. Talk on Tuesday with Valarie Johnson.
Well, guys, thank you for joining us on today, and we'll see you next week.
Check out the new podcast that drops tomorrow. Check out the one that's still up. It's a good one too.
Take care, guys.
Happy anniversary, Keatons. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Bye.
Bye.